Right. So in this video, I'm going to show you some more commands in AutoCAD that are really useful. We're going to start with the rectangle. So you can either select it up in this draw menu by selecting the rectangle button, or you can type in rectang and hit enter. So now it's saying it wants you to specify the first corner point. So I will click, let go. Now it's saying specify other corner point or down button. We're going to hit that down button and select dimensions. So now it says specify the length of the rectangle. This is going to be the horizontal line. So let's say I want a 15-foot by 30-foot rectangle. In this horizontal line, I'll put 15 and feet, hit enter. Now to specify the width, that's going to be 30 feet. So I type in 30 feet, enter. Now this is a tiny rectangle. I'll zoom in on it, but it just will allow you to kind of position it in space a little bit where you want to. So I'll just click over here. Here's our 15 by 30 feet rectangle. Another way that you can make a rectangle, like if you're not going to specify the dimensions, you can just type in rectang, enter, specify your first point, let go, drag your mouse, specify your second point, and then you have a rectangle. You just don't know what the dimensions are. So next, I'd like to show a really helpful command. It's called explode. And what this does is takes an object that has many lines in it, but it's just one object. It'll separate that object into individual lines. So let me show you. To use the explode command, you type in explode. If you just do EX, that's extend. So you have to do EXPL, and then you can hit enter. And now it's saying to select the object I want to explode. So let's say I want to explode this rectangle. I select it, and then I have to hit enter. Now it doesn't really seem like anything happened there, but it did explode. So instead of this being just one big object, it is 4 individual lines now, which can be manipulated. So, all right. Next, I'd like to show the offset command. And this is, let's say you have a line or any object really, but I'll do a line. I'm going to make a vertical line. The offset command is going to create this exact same line, however far away I tell it to go from this line. So I will show you. You type in offset or just off and hit enter. And then it wants to know how far away you want the offset to be. So let's just keep it at 10 feet. I'll type in 10 feet and hit enter. So then it still wants to know what object you want to offset. So I'm going to select this line. And then if I hover to the left or right, it shows that I can place the line on the left or right. So I'm going to place it on the right side. And then AutoCAD will stay in this command until you exit out of it. So if you just click on another line, it's going to offset again for you the same distance. If you want to change the distance, just type in a different distance and hit enter. Select the line. Here we'll do 30 feet. Select the line. Here we'll do 40 feet and so on. And to get out of the command, hit either enter or escape. I'm going to erase this. Next, I want to show construction lines. Construction lines are lines that extend out into infinity. So to get to the construction line, it is up in this draw menu, but it's in the drop down part. And if you want the drop down to stay there without collapsing, you can hit this push pin and it'll stay up there even if you're not hovering over it. So the construction line button is this one right here. But I'm going to just type in XLINE, which means construction line. Hit enter, specify a point, specify a through point. There we go. And now I will escape out of that command so it doesn't draw another one for me. But as you can see, this line, it goes on forever. A few more options with construction line is you can make it vertical, angled, and you can even offset a construction line. So how you do that is by typing in XLINE, enter, and then you'll want to hit the down arrow. And here we've got our options: horizontal, vertical, angle. We don't use bisect. And here's offset. So I'm going to do vertical. And here I've got my vertical line and it wants me to specify the through point. So I'm going to just select right there. And then I'll hit enter to get out of that command. The angled one is very similar. XLINE, enter. Specify your first point. I'm going to just hit the down button because I want angle. Then I can put in the exact angle that I want. So let's say I want a 45-degree angle. Type in 45, enter. Now here is my 45-degree angle construction line, and I can put it anywhere in space that I want. I'm going to have it intersect with this middle line. So alternatively, if you want that line or that angle to be the other way, you just type in XLINE again, enter, hit down, angle, and we're going to make this a negative 45. Enter. Here's our negative 45-degree angle, and we'll just put it right there. Exit out of the command. And last but not least for the construction line is the offset option. And this is the same. I typed in XLINE, hit enter, and then press the down button, and I select offset. Now it wants to know the offset distance. Sure, I'll keep it at 40 feet, that's fine. Hit enter, and now it just wants you to select which line. So I've selected the line, and it just wants me now to select which side. And then with this command, it will stay in it until you exit out of it. So exit out. All right, I'm going to erase all of these lines. We don't need them anymore. And I'm going to show you 3 more really useful commands in here. First one being trim. So that's pretty self-explanatory. If you have a line, you can trim it if it's meeting another line and it's sticking out a little too much and you want like a nice edged angle. So let's take a look at this. I'll call it a box. We've got these extra lines on the outside that we really don't need there. So what we'll do is type in trim, enter, and then it just wants you to select the object. So as I hover over them, it'll show me ahead of time what it's going to trim. So I'm just going to select these lines. And because they have a cross point, it just trims off the part before it intersects with another line. So similar, I'm still in the trim command over here. It's similar over here with this cross. I can simply just trim one side of it, all of it, anything. So after, the opposite of trim is extend. And obviously that would just extend the line to another point. So taking a look at this unfinished box here, I want this to connect. So what I'm going to do is type in extend and then hit enter. And I select this line. It's going to show me ahead of time what it's going to do. So then I click it and that's it. But now I don't really want this line here anymore. So I'm going to go back into the trim command. Get rid of this one. And then I'll just get out of the command by hitting enter or escape. Another really awesome tool that's similar to trim and extend is the lengthen tool. So when you use lengthen, you don't have to have a cross point. It'll just lengthen it however far you want. So the lengthen command is up in this modify tab. You want to select the down arrow, and the lengthen button is right here, the third one over to the right. Or you can type in lengthen. So first I'm going to draw a line. Okay, and now I want to lengthen that line. So I'm going to type in lengthen, enter. And now we don't want to select an object to measure. We want to select an object to change. So what we do is hit the down button here before we select an object. And we want it to be dynamic. So now the wording changed here to select an object to change. And if I select this line over on the right side, it's going to lengthen it to the right. If I select it on the left side, it'll lengthen it to the left. So I'll click over here on the left. And as I move my mouse, the line follows my mouse. So I can either just do it like that, or I can give it an exact number of how much I want it to lengthen.